How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Ron, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we made our way back to the Awakening Wood. We wanted to go ahead and find more caves to explore now that we encountered the blue Pikmin, and we made our way over to the Bublax Kingdom just in time before the day ends. We're gonna go ahead and try to wrap things up here today. That's pretty much the goal. There are 4 more sub-levels left. So there shouldn't be that bad, but we are also encountering a new enemy at the same time. Please, 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 no. No, you annoying... Okay. So luckily these enemies aren't going to be that bad. Come on. Of course you would blow them away. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now that I can finally introduce the name of this creature, it is actually going to be the Withering Blowhog. This is actually going to be a new enemy for us. Although we have seen a similar similar enemy type before, just not in this game, but we have encountered a familiar family off branch of this enemy before. We have encountered it, just not this one. But okay, we already defeated all of those. There's also an ivory candy pop bud. Since I don't see anything above ground and none of the Withering Blowhogs had the treasure, it most likely is safe to assume that the treasure is somewhere underground, and key is. Alright. Come on, Pikmin. I may increase my whites. I might as well. It's never a bad idea to have white Pikmin. I just want to make sure I have reds because it is still going to be a good idea to have some red Pikmin towards the end of the cave. Let me go ahead. Alright, so I believe this should be the only treasure in this third floor, honestly. Alright, pretty much a seashell, worth only 40 Pokos. The Olamanite shell. Huh, I like that name. Pretty much kind of fits it well. 20 reds, I think... I'll have 20, 25. Since I really don't need yellows. Of course there is. Of course you were there. Alright, you know what? I'll go ahead and just use up some of my yellows. I am wasting a little bit of time, but I should still be okay. The reason is I just want to have as many whites and purples as I can because I really just don't want to go ahead and just waste time going back to a cave just to get more Pikmin. Come on. Okay. Louie, can you not be stupid and just pluck the Pikmin? What is wrong with you? You were facing them. That just really annoyed me. I was literally tapping A so I could just go ahead and get started with it. And it really took that long to do so. Okay. I'm missing 2, but whatever. Alright, I'm gonna have to let a lot of these Pikmin just share this. Alright, whatever. Not everyone got one. For those who did, thank you. For those who didn't, too bad. Let's just get out of here. Let's move on to the next floor. We're gonna be just 3 more floors left, and I think the next 3 are just gonna be somewhat of a challenge. Of course, it goes without saying, the further you go into a cave, the more difficult it'll be. That's with anything in life, honestly. Just the further you get, just the more difficulties will come ahead to you. This one, don't really remember too well. Okay, so there was electricity. I'm great. Oh, the violet candy pop, but I am gonna want to use my yellows here. I don't want to be really stupid. Alright, just ignore the Anoid Beetle. I said ignore the Anoid Beetle. Okay, I don't know why I... Oh! No. Oh, no. Okay, so this is the first instance of... I would have been so mad. Okay, so this is the first instance of something falling down from the ceiling of a cave. So that'll happen a lot throughout our Pikmin adventure. But the one thing you got to be careful, and I believe I did mention this the last time we saw something fall from the sky like that. But at that time, I think it was just an egg, so it wasn't really a big deal. Enemies can also fall down from there. So you got to be extremely careful when traversing through caves, because that can definitely happen. And this is why a lot of times Pikmin players, especially myself, you'll see this all the time. We pen out in a pretty much bird's eye view just to prevent things from like that from happening. Because if you were to just have your view like this, you would most likely have not seen that Wollywog in time, and it would have been very poor to get your Pikmin like stomped on or just unfortunately like just trampled on. This will happen a lot throughout the series. Alright, good thing that one's dead. There's nothing nearby it, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, just take some of the spoils. I kind of remember there was a Wollywog in this cave, but I didn't remember if it was the one that fell from the ceiling. That part, I'm glad I saw the radar move, because I was kind of thinking, that there's nothing near me other than that anoid beetle. But the anoid beetle, I don't believe in any cave even has a treasure, so that should have been a clear indication that that should have been an enemy to watch out for. But man, I was very nervous that I was really gonna end up paying for that. I got extremely nervous. Okay, just go ahead and grab some of the spoils, and I will go ahead and use the violet. Oh no! I want to take advantage of that. I want to take advantage. Okay, we'll let the treasure gathering cinematic take charge for a moment. But 100 Pokos for this weird relic, the unknown merits. Makes sense. Oh, it does have a treasure. Oh, okay, so it's the only thing it had. Okay, so that right there was the iridescent glint beetle. So it's pretty much nearly the same thing as the iridescent flint beetle, but the iridescent glint beetle, is pretty much like the flint beetle counterpart. It doesn't hold, you can't really knock it out. It's just a beetle that roams around. That one normally just has nectar and any kind of sometimes ultra spicy or bitter sprays. But this one, the glint beetle, has anything that can range from numerous nectar to numerous spices and sometimes even treasures. So make sure you look out for that too. The Crystal King. 110 Pokos. We've encountered a Crystal King ourselves too, remember guys? I'm sure y'all remember. I really don't want to use all my blues. I just got these guys like not too long ago. But it's okay. Oh, I can't count. Okay. That, and then I just want to make sure. I think I have 15 already, but I just want to make sure. Alright, that Wollywog scared me. I didn't really explain too much about that Wollywog. We have seen all the Wollywog families already in the original Pikmin that we played. This Wollywog, I think, like in the original, it just has better sight adaptation or whatever, or adaptations or whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called. Some type of mutation that helps it see better in a distance. So the yellow Wollywog, it is a little bit more beefy, but it kind of lacks that depth perception that the white Wollywog would normally have. And while the white one does typically lack some defenses, it can actually see in a wider range. So that's why you have to be a bit more cautious with that one. That one can be a little bit more tricky to take care of if you don't do it properly. But all right. Enough of that. And also just, like I said, keep in mind of anything falling from the ceiling. And we'll just go ahead into the next cave. We still have 2 more. I don't think these next 2 should be bad. That one was pretty bad, honestly, just because I wasn't remembering that part. 5, 6, 7. All right, now 3 more. Okay, 3 more. Can't count. Oh, sleeping enemies. Okay. Oh, there we go. Orange Bulborb. All right, this guy can see. I think I already taught you guys that earlier. All right, I feel like there's more. Okay, so nothing down here. But the treasure's not down there. Okay, so there should be nothing down. Oh, okay. This is gonna be our first encounter of those things. So just like falling enemies, even volatile bomb rocks can fall down. What are you doing? Go! So yeah, I don't have to explain too much about what those are. Bomb rocks are kind of like in the name. They are rocks that explode. If you're near the vicinity of them, you will get impacted in a harsh way. Okay, so that's the treasure. Did I hear another enemy? I swear I heard something else. Oh, that scared me. Okay. Is that everything in this cave? That's it? Alright, I mean, I'll take it. I was not expecting that, honestly, but okay. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. Okay. One thing I should also mention is a lot of the ceiling traps won't trigger unless your Pikmin are actually doing something. Like, as you saw, I did kind of approach it, but unless your Pikmin are actually active in that area, like digging up something or battling something or pretty much in a horde, nothing will activate. So just make sure you keep that in mind anytime you want to let your Pikmin do a solo activity there. Yeah, so honestly, that cave really didn't have anything other than just a couple of falling bomb rocks. 50 Pokos for a sprout. The anxious sprout. Anxious to grow. I know, fitting name. But yeah, always watch out. I think this is probably one of the earlier caves that introduces that concept of like falling objects, so just make sure you keep that in mind. You have no clue how many times when I first played this game, when I originally got it, that I succumbed to like so much danger from like falling enemies and bomb rocks. It's so sad. You can make so many compilations of just that alone. It's ridiculous. It happens a lot in the later games, but you'll see some of it now just because they want to introduce you to it. All right, the penultimate. I don't see it yet, but I'm pretty sure it happens. No! No! Oh! Alright, that's great. One thing I also didn't mention, if I didn't already, and I'm gonna have to do it again, is make sure you're careful of falling bomb rocks when you're throwing purple Pikmin, because if they activate it when they land on the ground, it'll immediately cause it to erupt, as you just saw. I hate when that happens. I don't want to always do this, but I always like to keep a no death Pikmin run, so I'll be with you guys in just a moment. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, we are now back at the sub-level 6 after a very sad but also a great learning experience for you guys. Just no. Just charge it, might as well. Okay, so there's 2 things we can learn from this. One is just make sure you're careful with purple Pikmin. Yes, they're overpowered, but you can get your own downfall from that just because of that, so just be careful. I don't even think I like how the Bulborbs just slid through like that, like nothing happened. Make my way around. I want to say it's this floor, but I don't see it happening yet, so maybe not. Alright, but the other thing I was gonna say is just be careful with your purples when you're throwing them and you suspect a bomb rock might be nearby, or like a end cavern pit, because that's when, if you're not careful, you'll immediately explode it on contact, and then you're just gonna regret everything you just did because you'll lose a lot of Pikmin in that sad manner. I just cleared that. Let me go ahead and see if there's anything here. I thought this was the cave that started it. Is it not? I swear I feel like... Okay, I'll talk about that if it does happen in just a second. The other thing that is a great opportunity for me to mention is also... We'll see this a little bit more now. Of course, that fiery dweeble wants to go ahead and grab the remains. One thing I can go ahead and explain now is cave layouts, especially now since we're seeing a lot more greater and expansive caves, is that layouts can change after any time you reset or pause to go back to the game. No, I don't want you to pick it up. I want you to kill the dweeble. Treasure. Okay, I know there's a bomb rock there. There has to be. It just wouldn't be a Pikmin game if it wasn't a bomb rock right there. Come on. I know you're there. I know you're there. Yeah, I knew it. Come on, guy. No! What are you doing? Oh my god. This game is giving me like very high anxiety attacks because that purple was literally just about to kill itself. That literally just, like, my heart levels just rose to the max because of that. But I thought this was the cave that, okay, maybe not. Since this doesn't look like this is the cave that does it, I won't talk about it yet. But I swear I thought this was the cave that introduced this one, but maybe not. Let me go ahead and just start roaming out some more, clearing out more rooms because I know there's something that I'm missing. Although there is only 2 treasures and we already found both of them, but pretty sure there's like a bomb rock or something somewhere. Or maybe not. Interesting. Okay. In case if I didn't finish explaining it already, pretty much the cave layouts will change anytime you reset your game or come back to it after you've paused. So it does kind of add a little bit of replayability in that aspect. It just gives a great way to, you know, you can't really cheat your way. That's not really the right word to use. You can't really copy your way through all the caves again because some of the layouts will change, enemy spawns will be different, and treasure layouts will pretty much always be different. There are certain floors and certain caves throughout the game where some of the layouts will never change. It's just how it's programmed, but many of them more often than not will change as you continue to come back to them. And we see the colossal fossil 140 Pokos. Alright, and then we should be getting the last treasure in just a moment. Which is pretty much a similar relic to the first one that we saw earlier. That's a fiery candy pop bud. I think it's the fiery candy pop bud. I can't remember, is it? It has something to do with red. I really don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's the fiery candy pop bud, but I'll probably end up shooting it up there if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Alright. So there's nothing left for us here, and I don't remember where the exit was. It's on that side. Okay. But before I do want to go ahead and add more red. Wait, no, that's reds. I really thought that was a purple candy pop bud. Let me start making my way to the exit because we really don't need to be here anymore. Again, caves always teach us a good lesson. Even if you play this so much, it's always good to remember the basics and always watch out for the ceiling because we just saw another comedic error on my part. Okay, but let's go on to the final floor of the Bublax Kingdom, floor number 7. And it wouldn't be a final floor without a boss fight. And this one, unlike the BD Longlegs fight that we did just not too long ago, this one should be a bit easier on our end. Alright. Final floor fanfare, as always. And then, you probably can't see it yet, but why would I... Wrong Pikmin. Alright. Alright, and you can probably see it out in the distance. It's probably not too hard to see on your guys' end. But we do see a set of eyes that are creeping outside the floor. We've seen something like this before in the original Pikmin. And you would guess it, it's a similar enemy. But this time around, it's extremely easier to fight. We actually could just use only purples and we actually still be very good in this match. All I have to do is, in this fight, to activate it, or to activate him, since that's the proper noun to call on him. Just throw a Pikmin at it, and then it'll arise. It is the Emperor Bublax, and if I can actually, there we go. And look how easy that fight was. It literally just took 5 seconds. Like, yeah, and okay, yeah, I'm just gonna explain that in just a moment once I go up to this treasure. And it looks like a Gundam almost. I don't know what it's supposed to resemble if I can't remember correctly. It's supposed to resemble something like that. My initial report indicates that that giant Bublax spat out some sort of object. It looks fascinating, but it's drenched in that creature's internal juices. Disgusting. Oh, don't roll your eyes at me. I'll store it for you. Thank you, ship. Alright, so the Bublax, Emperor Bublax has many changes than the original time we first saw him as the final boss in the original Pikmin. His size is significantly smaller, and after defeating him, we can actually pick up his remains and take him to the ship, unlike before where he just pretty much disintegrated into nothing. And he's a lot easier to defeat this time around. Alright, but we get the significant treasure of the cave, worth 100 Pokos, and it's the Forged Courage. What a name for this guy. This material has perplexing properties. I will try fusing it with the spare spacesuit. Processing complete. Success. Behold my latest invention, the Scorch Guard. And thanks to the heat-resistant alloy, this suit is now impressive to fire, or impervious to fire. Alright, and as the Scorch Guard is named, it is our heat-resistant, pretty much add-on to our suit. It is now going to make Olimar and Louie resistant to any kind of fire elements, whether it's attacks or the geysers that we see up there. It's going to make it a lot easier for us to actually do anything. Alright, so as you can see on the bottom right, we are not done yet. There's still one more treasure to grab, and that is going to be all the way up here. And what I was also going to say about the Emperor Bublax... Why are you... Okay, so I obviously shouldn't put you guys there since you're going to do that. Alright, grab reds, take them up here. Alright, it's going to make this part a lot easier now that we can actually grab them. We'll just let all the reds chill up there. Because before, if we hadn't grabbed that item, we actually would have been very hurt by these fires and we couldn't really traverse up. But now that we're immune to it, we can just go up and then go ahead and collect this final treasure, which makes it a lot easier to grab. I want to make sure. I really don't want my fire Pikmin to fall down on that. That's just going to be very sad if that happens. All right, and they will go that way. I really thought they were going all the way down for a minute there. I was like, y'all really want to commit suicide like that? What's wrong with all y'all? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let the red Pikmin take that back. And then once they do, we can go ahead and leave and complete the Bublax Kingdom in relatively easy fashion. If we ignore what just happened in the previous floor, then everything really just was pretty easy for us to not really have any worry about. But what was I gonna mention about? Oh yeah, the Emperor Bublax. What was I gonna say? It's pretty easy to take care of him now because of the purple Pikmin. As you saw, it took like 5 seconds to get rid of him, other than like almost the entire day the last time we saw him. Pretty much you don't have to worry about the Emperor Bublax anymore. He's pretty easy to defeat, and honestly, that's pretty much one of the biggest size variants you'll see. We'll see him a bit more throughout the cave as we explore more other ones throughout the Pikmin world. But for now, we'll just leave it at that, as he was relatively easy to take care of now. And another relic, 250 Pokos, the Gyroid Bust. Alright, so now with that out the way, we can go ahead and let Olimar take all our Pikmin out because we collected everything we can. We'll go ahead and head back to the surface, complete Bublax Kingdom. Oh, it's always nice seeing that last Pikmin just struggle to get up with everyone else. It's like... Alright, good thing. We didn't lose any Pikmin the second time around, admittedly, but we did collect all the treasures here. and recovered a good amount of our debt. Let's go ahead and clear this as complete. Man, that was such a sad way for my Pikmin to go that way. But at least you guys know, or for those who haven't already played this game, always make sure of your surroundings, because things like that can happen. Alright, and of course, half of our debt has not been recovered. We're doing pretty good so far. And with only 1 second left in the day, we're done for the Awakening Wood for today. That's it. Alright, we really don't need to see all that. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and start heading up towards the surface. And it doesn't look like there is any enemies, really. Yeah, not really. Okay, no one was there. Alright, and let's just go over today's report after a decent amount that we did here in the past, well, day. It felt like a lot more, but it was just only a day. Alright, we collected a few above ground treasures and of course everything from Bublax Kingdom, recovered nearly a little bit over half of our debt. Pikmin numbers rose up pretty healthily, and of course after another sad reset, none lost. But that number would surely be different if I didn't do resets, I guarantee you that. Day 6 now. Olimar, you are my hero. You've erased half of our debt, and still things have become a bit dangerous. So I'm going into hiding. Focus on work and don't slack off. Right, this is a sad present, bro. How am I supposed to be helping you and you hiding like that? Weak ass boy. Alright, but guys, that's enough of that. We completed one of the caves in the Awakening Wood. We only have one left, but I will say in the next episode, we're going to be going back to a familiar site that we arrived here at our first day, and that'll be back at the Valley of Repose. So I will leave it at that. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Do hope you enjoyed. Just a minor recap. Of course, we completed Bublax Kingdom in a pretty hilariously ending fashion, but overall, other than that, pretty straightforward. Next episode, I will say we will be going back to the Valley of Repose. Now that we have all the Pikmin, we can actually properly explore everything there and pretty much every other place as well. But the one thing I want to do here is to see if I have enough time to go to one cave, because there is an item there that will be extremely useful for our journey anytime that we're going to any other cave. This will be something I will elaborate a lot more on as we get closer to it, but I will say this is a cave in this location that has something we will want to get as soon as we can, but we'll leave that for next time. Guys, this has been your boy Ron. Until next time, I'll see you guys back here at the Valley of Repose, so we can go ahead and start clearing more things out the way, and so we can go ahead and enter the next new cave. I'll see you guys then. Take care.